Hello everyone and happy Halloween! I know I kind of abandoned you guys for like a week, but as you can probably tell by my voice, I got hit with a nasty cold. But it's Halloween and I want you guys to see my costume this year. So I decided to use these kind of tattoo transfers. They're from Tinsley Transfers or Hollywood Effects. It seems to have two different names on Amazon, but they are these super cool prosthetics that you put on like a temporary tattoo, but they're actually 3D. By the way, this isn't sponsored. I bought them with my own money. I just think they're really cool. So when you get these, you cut them out, you flip them to the transfer paper, and then you stick them on your skin, and then you wet them down, and you peel off the paper, and they are on your skin. I wore this costume literally all day. I think I finished my makeup around 1:30 and I didn't take it off until like 1:30 in the morning. So for 12 hours, these did not move and they made my pirate look so gruesome and cool. This whole look was inspired by like the Davy Jones crew members with like the barnacles and stuff. So yeah, I did my usual pirate makeup, which is not a sentence most people say, but when I was a pirate performer, the makeup I'm doing today was my go-to. So I am just doing a really warm toned smoky eye. I started with this burnt orange color from this Pooh Bear Autumn palette that my mom got me at TJ Maxx, which is super, super cute. I put this in my crease and all the way up to my brow bone to give me a nice dark spooky eye. And then I deepen the crease up with the medium brown color in this palette. Honestly, was truly impressed with the quality of the shadows in here, given that it's very much a novelty palette. But I just blended all of this out so it was nice and smooth. And now you guys can kind of see the transfers up close. I have no base makeup on. I have no foundation. I didn't add any paint or anything to it. This is just how they come when you peel the paper off, and they look super awesome. I love the way the teeth turned out. I love the open sores. You can add fake blood to them. I decided not to. I wanted them to look a little bit dried out, kind of cracked and sea salt like. I think next year this is something I'm gonna like focus on, is using different prosthetics and maybe doing less looks but better quality looks, more quality over quantity. But just so you all know, I am gonna finish out my list for Halloween. I am committed to finishing the looks that I had planned. I have some costume pieces that I bought that I still very much want to use. So there's gonna be more looks coming in November, just kind of spread out a bit. But yeah, so there'll be more Halloween looks coming soon. And then for the lid on this look, I just threw a good old matte black and just really smoked it out, made it messy, smudgy, the piratey look. This is all kind of like a Jack Sparrow, spooky, smoky glam pirate look. I used to wear this makeup all the time. So, it's a lot of blending. It's a lot of trying to balance out the look. But if you can find a really good matte black shadow, you are in really, really good shape. So after I put the black on in the inner corners of my eye, I added this really shimmery gold that was in the palette, just to give it a little bit of glam. And then I started doing my foundation. So I did my foundation with a brush and very carefully went around all of my prosthetics. So you just want to be careful because the seams can lift a little bit if you get too much product on them or move around too much, obviously. So I just kind of tapped everything very carefully and then went in with a wet rag and wiped off any foundation that got in places that I didn't want, like on the teeth or on some of the more like open sore kind of parts. I obviously didn't want foundation on top of that because it took away from the overall effect. But yeah, I could use the wet wash rag to clean these up on them and it did not affect the way the transfer laid at all. For contouring, I went in just underneath my transfers and I carved all of this out. Basically, where my prosthetics started is where the contour ended. So you don't want to contour over top of them. You just want to go in kind of behind them like I did here, right by the teeth. Honestly, the teeth one is my favorite. I wish I had gotten two, like a right and a left. I didn't see like two sides, but I'm sure you could flip it and it would work for either side, but again, that's something we'll explore next year. And then I went down the nose with my contour as well, just to make me look a little bit more sunken in and a little bit more malnourished. And then I went all around the hairline as well because I was wearing a lace front wig, so it's one that I like to blend my hairline a little bit. And then I just went back over it with my foundation brush a bit to give it a more seamless look and make sure that the seam of my prosthetic was not getting contoured and making it more obvious. And then with my soft and gentle highlight, I just went in on my cheeks and my nose, again, kind of just avoiding anywhere that I have the special effects makeup on, but still wanting to be a little bit fancy. You know, I'm still, it's a glam spooky pirate. For under the eyes, I went in with my black jumbo pencil from NYX and just filled in and smoked out the under eyes. I wanted it to look very worn in, again, very Jack Sparrow kind of. So I took a brush and just blended that out. And then I went in with my favorite bronze pigment and I packed this under the eye and just kind of brought it down. This obviously could go over top of the prosthetics because it's something that would have been put on the skin after it rotted away. And then I filled in my eyebrows. So I did a little bit of a lighter shade just because my wig is very, very red, as you can see in my thumbnail. And if you've watched any of my other Get Ready With Me to Go Be a Pirate videos, I always wear my big red wig because we want the redhead. Like, hello, I'm a Disney adult and I have to be a redheaded pirate if I'm going to be a pirate. So I just filled that in with the Anastasia powder. And then I threw on my good wig, as I call it, and I put on this kind of dark taupey liquid lip. It is matte. Usually I would do a red lip, which you can totally do, and it still looks just as good. But since we were going with a spooky vibe, I wanted to do something a little more muted and a little bit more decayed looking. You could go all nude over top of it, and it would still look really good and more spooky. And then I just went in with a little bit lighter of this kind of grayish shade and put that in the center of my lips to finish off the look. So editing me here, this was the part of the video where I was supposed to have this really cool cinematic conclusion to Halloween. I fully intended to film out on the beach with my friend, where we'd be out on one of the Great Lakes, and have this really cool, like, walking through the water video. However, the day that we went to go film that and do a bunch of pictures, I found this kitten. If you don't follow me on TikTok, you may not have seen it. But I found this kitten and we were going to take her to the shelter, but now my parents are keeping her and I have aptly named her Stowaway because I was in full pirate glam when I found her and she was tucked up in a car and dumped out. We don't really know if she was left there or if she got up in the car and got driven out there. All we know is she was very skinny, very cold, and very hungry, and now she is very warm, very full, and very well loved. So, you will maybe see Stowaway in other videos. If I do stuff at my parents' house, she will probably appear somewhere in them because she's a crazy little kitten. But yeah, and there's my crazy little kitten right there. But yeah, so that's it. That's the end of Halloween this year. Like I said, I'm going to do other looks because I hate getting sick and hate getting sick during Halloween because it makes me just not motivated to film or able to film to the best of my abilities. I had no voice 2 days ago, and of course I really had time and wanted to film then. But it is what it is. I got a lot of looks out. I hope you guys enjoyed them. History of Horror will continue because I have 2 more, I think, that are supposed to be on there. Maybe it's just 1. But one of my costumes went missing. Like, this year stuff went wrong that has never gone wrong in the, 8 years that I've done this. But yeah, I'll be back next year to do it. And obviously, thank you to all the new people who subscribed to my channel. And be ready because more looks are coming. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.